Hello and welcome back to Spirit Mom. Today at Spirit School, we're going to discuss manifestations and abundance, and specifically manifesting abundance, because who doesn't want abundance, right? And who doesn't want to manifest everything they want? That sounds great, but it is easier said than done for most of us. Why? Because to manifest something, you have to completely believe it from the depths of your soul. So what does this mean? Well, for starters, your subconscious, your shadow, and even your ego are going to stand in your way. You wouldn't think the ego would stand in the way of manifesting things that it can brag about being better, but it does, because it doesn't like change. And usually we're manifesting something that's going to be a change. So what do we do? Well, we've talked before about hypnotherapy, so I won't go into details about it. But if you're having troubles with the shadow aspect, with subconscious aspects, then seek hypnotherapy, because that is going to be the best way to clear up things that you can't consciously clear up. We're going to clear it up when we're unconscious, when we're sleeping. It is the best, most effective way to do that. And it actually works very quickly. Next, what else do we focus on to make sure we can manifest? We need to check our conscious brains. We need to check what's running through our brains every single minute. Okay, so let's backtrack, because let's assume you don't know how to manifest. I haven't actually specifically taught how to manifest, because the word is almost self-explanatory and it's getting more and more out there about manifesting. Here's an example of how I have manifested. First, with this room specifically, which I love, I had to first decide that the old way the room wasn't working. So I had to take the room and clear it out completely, clean it out, which is always a hassle. You find things you didn't know were even in there, messes that you didn't even know were in there, and you have to dig it all out, decide where it's going to go. I ended up donating a lot of the old kid stuff, and then I was left with an empty room. We had decided what we wanted to make the room, but we hadn't decided exactly how it was going to look. So I came in and I literally began to visualize it and see it. I saw the pictures on the walls. I saw us being in here. I just saw us walking around, and I started to feel it. I really felt the room. I visualized it in my head. I felt what it would be like to be in here. That is key, because to manifest, you have to believe that it's already true. And imagining that you can feel it is going to help. Another example with this is, I wanted to see a dolphin. This is years and years ago. I used to, and this is before I even knew about manifesting, I used to imagine and feel what it was like to pet a dolphin. I know that sounds silly, but guess what? When I went to Mexico and I petted a dolphin, it felt exactly like how I imagined. And I'm not from an ocean area, so I had no idea what a dolphin should or would feel like. But I knew, and I manifested it. So to manifest it, you have to be able to believe it's true. You have to be able to feel that it's true. You have to be able to, in your mind, walk around in that existence. So if it's a bigger house, walk around in that house, feel that house, start to embody what it would be like to be a person with a bigger house. Start to clear out your own house so you make more space inside your own house, so your own house begins to feel bigger. If you want to manifest a new job, you take into account, not just with the job, but with everything with manifesting, you take into account the law of action. The law of action shows that when you, it's what I've said before, when you take that first step, the universe will take the next step. Then you take the next one, and it takes the next one. The law of action is like legs. You and the universe working together as legs on a body. That is the law of action, basically. And the law of vibrations, when you set your mind, on something and tune, like you're tuning an instrument. You tune yourself to the frequency of what you're going to manifest. Once you are in a higher vibration, a higher state of living, manifesting becomes easier because you know you're worthy. You know you deserve, not in like a petty way, but you know that it can be yours. It's within your realm of existence. Even with affirmations, they'll say don't do affirmations if it's too far away from you, because it can have the opposite effect. It causes this, yeah, that'll never happen feeling inside, and you do not want that. If you get that, yeah, that'll never happen feeling, it'll end up manifesting the opposite. It'll send you the opposite way. So you do have to be careful with manifesting, especially if you're not in a right mental state, because you can accidentally manifest things you don't want. So you need to be in a good mental state. And the best way, because some people can go and manifest themselves to be a billionaire the next day. Like, that's the dream. Just like people that have spiritual awakenings instantly. These things are possible. You could go and manifest your biggest dreams like that. Like, that is within the realm of the universe. But I'm taking it down more to a human level and how to work realistically with this human self. So that's why we want to have a cleared out shadow, because our shadow will try to sabotage us. And the ego will even try to sabotage us because it doesn't like change. So we're gotta edge it forward and think of manifesting things that we can believe that we can do. So it doesn't mean that we're already doing it. It just means that we know we could do it. And then we start to take those action steps towards it, and the universe will hand us more. So for example, I manifested this room, this entire room, and you can't see the whole room, but it's beautiful. And for example, like this picture right here was $350. It should have been. But I just so happened to be going to the bathroom at the store and it was on sale for only $60. Like, it's things like this that'll happen. So you manifest beauty, but you have a budget. But when you picture and visualize it and do the action steps, like I cleaned out the room, the universe will make it happen. It will help you create what you're manifesting. And it's this tug-pull game of manifesting and visualizing, and do have a certain way that you see it happening. But at the same time, you can't be too attached, because you'll make plan A, but universe will hand you plan A and a half, plan, A 2.5. Like, it will be your plan-ish, but it's going to do it in its own way because it knows best, and that's just the way it can maneuver things into your frequency, into your life, into you. And the better you get at manifesting, the more it'll happen faster, the more it will be closer to what you wanted, because this is another thing, you have to remain focused. This is my biggest issue, because one day I'll want something, but the next day I'll change my mind. And that just sends terrible frequencies to the universe, because the universe will start planning out what it's going to do for me, and then I'll change my mind, and then and I get all this like feedback that's ish of what I want, which is fine because I'm happy with my life and I have everything I want. My issue now is to dream bigger and think of new things. But I am happy in thine own self, like we should be. I'm pleased. I'm perfectly pleased. And we don't always have to be manifesting. That's another thing. Once you've manifested enough, feel free to sit back and relax and enjoy the ride. That's what I'm doing. I have manifested all these things that we needed, like when I wanted the house, like when I wanted another car, like when I wanted this room, all of these physical things. So obviously I wanted children. I manifested those. I wanted marriage. I manifested that eventually. It took a while, but we got there. If you watch my origin story, I wanted to get married a lot sooner, but I wasn't versed in manifestation back then. Plus you can't be getting in people's wills, right? So you can't really safely manifest something like marriage without messing with someone's will. Though you can manifest love in general, you just can't do it to a person specifically. Remember what the genies say, you can't make someone fall in love with you because you can't, that's evil, because you would be twisting their will. But you can make yourself a better person. You can manifest yourself into a better person that will attract more love. Like, you can manifest more love in general because there's lots of love available in the world, and the universe will just bring you that love. So you can embody the feelings of love, embody the feelings of being loved, embody the feelings of cleanliness. Like if you want to clean their house, you walk around your messy house like it is clean, and it will become clean. Trust me, something will happen. A family member will come over that's good at cleaning and they'll do it. Like, you can manifest a clean house. There's all these simple things that you can manifest without being greedy, because I love manifesting, but then I have this big pullback that we are supposed to be humble, right? So I think we should live in abundance. That's why we use the word abundance, which is not greed. It is, you have enough of what you want. You have actually a little bit more than what you need. So it's like a big open bubble to walk around in. So it's more than what you need. So you're never in a state of lack. You're in a state of abundance, which is perfect. Because once you become a millionaire and billionaire and all those things, that's all great. But realistically, that's a lot of work. That is a lot of pressure. That is a lot of, and I'm not being a naysayer here. If you want to be a CEO, go ahead and start manifesting that. But I'm being realistic here. The more you have, the more responsibility you have, like that saying. So we always want to stay within what we actually want to do with our life. And that's my thing, because I have everything I want and I'm great and I'm happy and this is perfect, but we're always meant to expand and move more. And I'm expanding my consciousness. Don't get me wrong. That's what I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting seeing more things. I'm manifesting feeling more things, and I'm manifesting living more things. That's what I'm passionate about now. I moved on from the physical aspects, like stuff. I am happy with all the stuff I have, and hopefully you can get to that point too, because you can manifest all the stuff. And then I do feel like, and this is my own opinion, that you should kind of lay off the stuff and move on to this, move on to your energy fields, move on to working on the higher realms. That's what I'm all about now, because I have enough stuff. I'm good. I mean, of course, if the universe wants to bring me more stuff, I don't want to complain, but I don't work on gaining more stuff now. I work on gaining more mental powers. I work on gaining more, like, manifesting, yes, but manifesting like spiritually, manifesting my own control of myself, because I know all I know, and now it's getting this human flesh suit to do it, which I'm doing really well at, I think. And you can get there too, because if you had a scene, like, I used to be a chaotic mess, which I talk about in my origin story, and now I walk around and things happen that we used to, like, just the change you can see in yourself that's what I think it's all about. It's great to see stuff that's different around you, but once you look in the mirror and you see a different person, once you see something happen that used to set you off, and now you're just like, that's okay. And you mean it. You're not being fake. You mean it. You mean it's okay. It's perfectly fine, and you mean it. You can go through horrible situations and be happy about it. Like, you can find the happiness in those situations. Now that is manifesting a beautiful life, and you can get there too. It's all about working on the self, knowing it can happen, and energetically getting your frequency, your vibration to those levels. And for me, that's always been baby steps, and it's possible. And don't let yourself be discouraged. And we always need to stay on top of the shadow and the ego, because honestly, they're always going to try to stop you. Probably, unless you become like an actual Zen master, which is always the goal. But I like to be realistic, but not to a negative degree, to a positive degree, because we can get there. But when we get too unrealistic on, I want to be Buddha tomorrow, then we get, oh, I'm not Buddha, boo, and then we can get all down on ourselves, right? But if we stay realistic, that we know we can manifest, but what can I manifest today? What can I manifest tomorrow? What can I manifest the next day, and the next day, and the next day? You'll get there, trust me. You just stay vigilant. It's a constant path, and you can do it. I believe in you, people. Goodbye for now. Spirit Mom.